The co-founder and CEO of Flare, Hugo Filion, has now people on board who have 10 to 20 billion in XRP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is changing the game for good. Because what Hugo said a couple weeks ago about 2026 Flare reaching 5 billion in FXRP, well, you can probably scratch that right now because it's gonna get way more. Because the fact that he has institutions waiting that are owning that much of XRP will not only be very beneficial for XRP, as it will cause a supply shock since all of these XRPs will be locked, it will also be very beneficial for Flare because Flare's collateral is about to add to this game on a bigger scale if it comes to 10 to 20. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to change the game for once and for all. What is going on, everybody? It's King Karan with another Flare content for you guys. So a couple days ago, Hugo had a interview with Paul Barron, and he was saying some interesting stuff. He was literally mentioning things that kind of makes you think like Flare is already building these things, right? These protocols, F assets, and now they're already having ideas and are already moving forward to other things. Just like I mentioned, Flare keeps on going. There is no stop for Flare. They have smart contracts. They are a layer one and they have oracles, just like I mentioned in the previous video. If you have these three, you can do unlimited things. And now they're like sailors on a sea. They're like exploring things that no other blockchain has done before. So now Hugo is saying things in his podcast, and Paul Barron is like, it's like, look, I will show you the video. He's surprised. He's like, what is going on here? But if you have these three and you can do things that other projects cannot do, just like I mentioned, guys, look at this chart right here, right? That's what most of the people care. They see the price here at its absolute bottom, and they are in disbelief. They are pessimistic. They say Flare is a scam, but look at the things what Flare is building. I've been in those times when XRP was at 10 cents and everybody called it a scam. And I was out there saying, guys, this is your last chance to buy XRP. And they all were telling me, no, you're supporting a scam. You are a scammer too. At 10 cents, folks, when it was bottoming out on March 2020, I can still remember that as it was yesterday. But now, when you're telling people that you bought it at 10 cents, they will say, oh, yeah, that's amazing. Because the charts already have moved on. And then it made a big candle. And now you look back, you think, oh, that was a smart time to accumulate. But in that moment, it was hard. People called me a scammer because I told people to buy. I told people, get in right now because it's at its absolute bottom. The sentiment was bad, just like right now. The exact pattern I noticed with Flare. Because when I'm telling people, listen, guys, not financial advice, but look at this. They're saying, no, the price is dumping. And, Hugo is a scammer and you're paid by Flare. All of that bullcrap. But I see the same pattern, guys. Because later on, when this will all move on in the future, they will tell you that you are a genius. Oh my God, you bought there? Oh, you must be lucky. Yeah, I think you probably bought by accident. You probably clicked on buy by accident. That's what they will tell you. But guys, let's move over to the video. What Hugo Filion was saying.
To see, at least in the near future, how long before you think, you said they move slower, but institutional coming. Right now it's a retail play. What would you say if you forecasted this, what this might look like in the next, say, 12 months?
I think we'll see in some of the faster moving institutions come on in the next, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe January would
Wow.
be
Okay.
a good target. And then I think, knowing some of the players that are involved, obviously I can't divulge those details ahead of time. The scope for this is, really vast. These entities are sitting on 10-20 billion dollars of XRP,
Yeah.
and they need to do something with it. And in fact, Firelight is built for scale.
Yeah.
Its goal with DeFi cover is to cover very large, pools of assets across the space, and that means that it needs many billions of dollars staked in order to do that adequately.
Firelight needs billions. Firelight is created to handle institutions. They need more. They need way more. And as of right now, we are still at the retail play. Right now, the people that are minting are still retail. Look what just came out of the horse's mouth. He is saying it himself. Hugo Filion is saying that he has institutions waiting that are owning from 10 to 20 billion in XRP. That's in dollars. But ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the total supply of XRP, including the escrow, obviously 100 billion. And if you own from 10 to 20 billion, let's say 20 billion, you own 10 billion XRP. That is 10% of the entire supply. And if you remove the escrow, that is 20% around that number. And if that institution is coming in to turn their XRP into FXRP, this will cost a massive supply shock. I've been talking about a supply shock for a while, but this is crazier than what I thought before. Because if that 20%, if you remove the escrow, will be locked, and then you have Flare as collateral backing all of that, backing those billions. Guys, you guys already know what will happen once that will be reality. And this is not just some speculation. I'm not here to clickbait you. This comes from the horse's mouth, guys. This literally comes from Hugo Filion. That you have institutions who are sitting on billions. And you're still looking at the chart here. You're still sad. You're still depressed. Oh, look at the price. And then later on, when this will make its move, you will be here saying, "Oh, I wish I bought more. Oh, I wish we were at these prices." These prices are a gift, guys. These prices are an absolute gift. But I'm not here to play one video. There is another video I will show you. This is actually a funny video, and I will show you it right now.
I think there's other ways I'm interested in seeing XRP being used, in terms of as a collateral asset. So having more lending protocols,
Yes.
which are like, slightly different structures, like
Yeah.
Morpho, or Morpho similar to Morpho, is where we want to go. And then once we build out our trusted execution environment into Flare, I think there's very interesting ways to use XRP with artificial intelligence, and with baked in risk models. So I quite like the idea of being able to lend across multiple chains at the same time, so
Okay.
that you can effectively have a position on one chain, which is, and borrow against it on another. And I think that's, for me, that's a protocol that would sit very nicely within a trusted execution environment. I also think trusted execution environments will allow us to create privacy for XRP DeFi, but privacy with regulatory compliance.
These are
One
huge.
one
Yes, Paul Barron, you're absolutely right. These are huge. Have you seen his reaction? That's why I was laughing. So Hugo is explaining what he can build more because of TEs and also because of PMWs, protocol management wallets. And because of these things that we'll be launching in the next couple of months, he can do so many other things with FXRP, right? He also wants to put it on Hyperliquid. And just like he mentioned, XRP can also be interacting with AI. And his reaction, he was like, he was just looking like, what are you guys doing? Like, what? And this is why I invest in Flare because they are not stopping. They are not stopping with just one product. You know how many projects I've seen just doing one thing? Oh, we are a bridge. Okay, and now what are you guys gonna do? We're just gonna wait for adoption. Yeah. Hmm. Guys, that's not what Flare is all about. Flare keeps on moving. So if this price drops lower, I'll buy more because I have the conviction and I know that what is happening right now with Flare is just temporary. Because once the price kicks in officially, because if you look at the TVL, right, the TVL is already like 5 times higher than the price itself, right? TVL is skyrocketing, but if you look at the price, it's 50% down. So then the question is, are you going to give up on this, thinking that this will be nothing because look at the market, it's all dropping? Or you can look at this and think, holy crap, because this will not be forever, guys. You can play this video in the next couple of months, and I will probably play this video because that's why I did this on purpose. I'm showing you the chart here to tell you that what is happening over here will not be forever. Look at the development, what Flare is doing, right? Just like Amazon when it was trading at a couple of bucks, when it crashed with the whole market, but yet they were still making sales, they were still developing. That is exactly what is happening with Flare. Yes, the crypto market, it's the whole market that actually drags Flare down, right? Look at every other altcoin. It's not just Flare. Look around, right? Look around yourself. But once that manipulation, everything is all over, guys, this will not be here forever. The crypto market, especially the altcoin market, will not be this low forever. There will be a freaking springboard where things are going to go up so fast that you are waking up. And if you're selling, you're out of the game. Congratulations, because you are absolutely missing on generational wealth. I rather take the risk to lose 50% and we are in a bear market than me selling at this point and missing out on 10, 20, 30x because I cannot sleep if that will happen. That I'm selling and I'm missing out on this. This will be the biggest regret I will have in my life. What will my kids tell me? What will my grandkids tell me? Grandpa, remember when you were selling Flare at this price? Right now it's at a couple bucks. What I'm about to say. I'm a loser then. I'm a sore loser. I'm a loser grandpa if that will happen. Hell no. I keep on accumulating. I keep on buying because what is happening with Flare's development makes me more bullish than ever. And after this interview, which I will put down below, makes me even more bullish. You need to understand Flare, guys. You need to understand what is happening. And I do understand there's a lot of people that don't understand what is going on with the development of Flare. And then they're just looking at this. Oh, look at the price, right? But take a look at the protocols that they're going to build, what problems they are solving, because this is something revolutionary. AI, DeFi, gaming, data. They have so many use cases, and they are just scratching the surface. I hope that you guys enjoyed this content. Make sure to like, subscribe, and also don't forget to put something down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and I'll see you guys next time.